Fantastic. Okay. Where it went? Yes, this one I need. Let's go here. Let us take paint. Yeah. Okay. So good morning, everyone. Um, During the last week class, we were discussed about the basic introduction to the Python, uh, how Python evolved, and what are the different features that are available in Python. And also, we have discussed about um, like the basics of different types of data in Python. So when it comes to the Python, Python is having less number of keywords compared to other programming languages. That is one of the advantage. And what are all the other features we have? It is dynamically typed programming language. Means it doesn't require for you to assign any variable in front of it. Okay, any variable name or identifier in front of it. Um, you need not to like give any type of variable. Like if it is a is equal to 10, you need not to give it is int, so it is a int type, so that is not required. It is dynamically typed because it automatically, as soon as when you say a is equal to 10, and when it goes for the execution, okay, I mean the like whatever the interpretation, first it will store 10 as in memory, and it will have a reference name called as a, and based on the value it's stored, it will be like pointing to a class called as int class. Okay, so all this happens how you have the a Python runtime memory. Whenever you try to execute a program, first the Python will get loaded into the memory. All some portion of the memory is like predefined functions, okay, classes, like as I said, the type of class is int, how it is identified because of the things that are loaded into the Python memory. Like all your Python executables, everything will get loaded over here. Along with that, like few static variables will get loaded as an object. This is also an object, this is also an object, this is also an object, every class is an object, every function is an object, everything is an object. I mean, like every class, in the sense class will have a lot of objects. Okay, like whatever we save it here will be stored as an object under the type class. Okay, like int, what do you say, float, string, all those things. So that is like when it loads into the memory. And as soon as if you assign something, immediately what it does is it will take and store it, and it will also be an object, and which it will be part of some int class. All int related objects will go and fall over here. Okay, like here, if it is in class, this one, all those objects, like if I say 10, 20, 30, all of them under one category. Okay, and apart from that, if you give anything like 10.5 or something like that, it is a float object. Okay, even the float object will get created over here as 10.5, and it will be pointing to that. But the problem with int and the float is till depending upon the type of like IDE or interpreter you are using. Okay, the basic Python IDE will say that till 255 or 256, I guess, 256, everything will be considered as the same, I mean, like automatically stored in the memory. But anything like 1, 2, 3, like 5, 6, 7, 256, and A, B, C, D, okay, all of these things automatically get loaded into the memory, and special characters, all like Unicode characters, dollar symbol, hash, all these things. Only like in some Unicodes, like special symbols, whatever you see on your keyboard, all those things will get automatically loaded into your memory. special characters. All your special characters, whatever you see in the keyboard, will also get loaded into the memory. And if you create anything beyond like 257 somewhere in the program, first if you say a is equal to 10, it will get created over here and it will be pointing to the value somewhere here automatically got loaded. If a is equal to 257, if it sees, it creates a new variable, and what do you say, object is created, and it will be referring to some, say for example, b is equal to 257. B will be here and it will be creating a new object and it will be referring, and it will be internally pointing to again to the int object. But during the runtime, the limit, whatever based on your interpreter, some of them will be like some 65,000 till they will get automatically, objects get created in IDEs and all for the numbers. But for us, we are using executable, Python executable directly. So usually it will be somewhere around 256. Okay. Even minus also some till minus 255 something, it will get automatically created as an object. Why we have this? Because everything in Python is an object. If something user is most of the times is using again and again, why should we create object separately during the runtime? Let us create more usable things like all the I mean like letters in our laptop or PC keyboard will get stored, and as well as all the special characters, let us get stored as soon as when the user tries to execute any Python program or launches Python. So all of them will get loaded into the RAM. So that is the first point you have to remember. Why? Because it is object reusability is the main feature of it. So object reusability. Okay. Because it is object oriented programming language. Okay. And you can have modular program, I mean like modular features also, like if you want any module you want to, like scientific modules, okay, data analytics modules, like machine learning modules, or if you want some network modules, or if you want some web related modules like HTTP and HTTPS related module. All these modules are there, but they doesn't get loaded during the runtime. So you have to, it will be somewhere in your C program, Python, that particular location. But the thing is, only the required thing, predefined classes, which and all required to run your program, those gets loaded. But if you have installed them in your system, they will be stored in what do you say, in a location. Okay. All these special modules, but they will get loaded only the time when you say something like import at the beginning of the program. During that time only they will also get loaded into the same this particular memory, wherever I said predefined, I mean like preloaded things, objects, right? So classes and objects, that time they will also get loaded. Just remember that. Now it is not required for us, but just remember what is module and how it gets loaded, when it gets loaded. Okay. So uh, so it is modular programming language where you can have additional features which like multiple, like if you want to extend your program, so you'll be using this thing. And what is the other features? Like you can use Python program in other languages, and other languages programming code in Python. So it is called as extensibility. So it's like you can extend it to like however you want, like here, there, and there to here, something like that. Okay. So these are the some important things we have gone through. And I said like there are different types of data that is available in Python. What are different types of data types that are in Python? We have primarily categorized into two types. One is, okay, this box. These are okay. So first thing, okay, what and all the first category comes? Any idea? Int. float, string, complex, boolean. Okay, these are called as fundamental,
Types,
data types. Okay, why these are called as fundamental data types? These are the base for any other data types that are present in Python. Okay, like if you are trying to create some other new form of data type, that is called as bytes. Okay, byte array. Okay, tuple. Okay, then list. Okay, then dictionaries. Okay, so then range. Okay, then I don't remember remaining things. Let me get back here. Uh, okay, let's get back here. Where? Let's get back. Let's get back. Yeah, here. Lists. Oh, sets and frozen sets. I forgot. Okay, sets and frozen sets, and what do you say? None is like just we have to treat it as a data type because nothing we are storing, but still we have to treat it as a type of data. Okay. Okay. Let me uh, put it as well. Okay. Range, uh, sets, and frozen sets, and my handwriting will be little like more curly, so bear with it. So and none. Okay. None means nothing. No data will be there. So still we'll consider it as one, like you don't know, it will be separate compared to any other thing. Okay. It's not a fundamental data type, or it's not a derived data type. It's just a data type. That's it. Nothing you are storing. It's a void kind of. It's nothing is there. Okay. So what is int, float, string, this thing? It is like you create all numerical things. Okay. But which doesn't have any real number. Okay, so that is called as integer, like 10, 20, like any big number. Okay, without any decimal point. Correct, right? Okay, but what is the point of it? Like if I have something like 10, okay, it is just an integer. But there could be a chance that people might be like creating some objects out of those same integer values. Like say, for example, I have some number in it, okay, and I would like to convert it into integer. Okay, um, you have inbuilt functions, you can actually take them and convert them. Okay, how? Okay, I'll just let me show. I think this we have covered it last week. I forgot to mention. You have say for example, binary value is there, something. Okay, so you want to convert it into, so you have integer value, you want to convert it into binary value. Okay, uh, say for example, you have 10 is there, you want to convert it into the binary, don't worry anything, you need not to mention anything, just give like this, that's it, binary of 10, how much it is, like usually what, 0101, it will get converted like this and it will give you one output. Like print, you give like bin of 10. Okay. Let me share that id id. Okay, id, let's wait, just waiting to get it down. Okay, let me share. Yeah. Okay. So if I have a is equal to 10, okay, you need not to do anything. Just print of a, I mean bin of a. If you want to print that, you can directly get it. But during the program, you have to see what is the value during you're writing a program, that we are not starting now because we are at the beginning basics level, right? So that is the reason I have not did that. Okay, so this is how you have to actually use, because somewhere you have to print to see it on the screen during the in any IDE or any file. Here you will be writing it like this. Okay, let me write this one only. Copy it. I just took a new file from the ID, okay, and I pasted it over here, and I have just saved it somewhere wherever 3.8 it is there. I said 1.11 something, okay, or test data, okay, and I just saved it, okay. If I go to run here in this and run this module F5, if I do a name, oh, sorry, man, okay, okay, A is equal to 10, A is equal to 5,000, I'll put 500 or 256, I'll put, okay, let us see. I'll just save it, okay, and I'll run it. Very simple, no need to worry about it. This is like 256 because you have 0th place, 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, like that till 2 to the power of 8. 2 to the power of 8, 256. So that is the value you got. Okay. So if you want to convert the same thing to some kind of hexadecimal, where it is required, I think most of us are into some kind of what do you say, uh, into some SOC or all related things. You might be going through some uh, Ethernet packets or something. Sometimes it requires for you to know the Ethernet header. It all stores in hex format. So something like this is there. One or F some IP. I mean, like some MAC address is something like. I mean, like not MAC address. Some IP, the size of some specific field is like this. F2, something is there. You don't know what it is. So what you'll do is the B, I'll give it. Okay, B. Okay. So, oh, sorry. First, I would like to convert this into hex. So, say, for example, F is how much? It is a 15 plus 2, 17. Okay, let us see what it will give. Say, oh God. Save, run. Okay. So 2 to the power of, I mean like 7 to the power of 16. I mean like say 16 to the power of the number into 7, 16 to the power of 1 into the number. Okay. Like this for you. How it calculates is 1 into the first decimal is here, second position, first 0, and this is first. Okay. So 16 to the power of just I'm giving an idea, plus, okay, 7 to the power of, I mean like 7 into 16 to the power of 1. Sorry, 0 this is, because it's a unit position. So first it will calculate and then it will get calculated internally. Okay, I'm just giving you guys to understand what is happening inside rather than getting confused. What type of calculation? Hex means 16. Okay. So let us save this and run this. Okay. So this is 1, 1. Okay. So what is the 17 means? How you can actually represent a 17 number? I have till 9. I can represent numbers 11. Correct, right? 12. Correct, right? Sorry, 12, 13. Correct, right? Then what else we have? What else we have? 14, 15, 16. Correct, right? Am I correct or not, guys? You understood anything over here?
Actually, I'm lost.
Okay,
Sorry.
cool. Okay. better we'll take it in some different way. Okay, now it is the time to ramp up all these. Just you remember that if you have to convert anything, use like this. Okay, I'll give you some other material, very easy material in my this thing. Okay, I know some of you guys might follow, some of you guys might not follow. If you take this particular thing, okay, someone having some number, right? Okay, some decimal number 11 example. Okay, if they want to convert it to the binary, like the calculation how they follow is like this. Okay, 11 means they follow like this, like 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, like that they will calculate. Okay, and it will get converted. Same way, if you have to convert, you have the basing system. Okay, so the ultimately whatever like decimal value means like number, integer, whatever we have given, okay, is converted into octal here. Same thing here, you have some decimal number 178 is converted into to the power of 16. Okay, so how it is, I'll give you individually. If someone is having some issue, I don't want to like confuse you guys by like telling more about it. Okay, just we have the methods, we will use them, that's it. But still, if you want to learn, I'll give you some information after some time. Okay, how you can do it, take any integer, just give integer inside, and let me share the screen. I don't think you have that. Okay, okay, the simplest way is, if you see this, any integer, you just keep it in the binary. Okay, you just give directly here any integer, any number. If you want to convert that particular number into binary, just do like this. Okay, if you want to convert same whatever the number into, okay, so I have given here a few examples. If you want to convert it into some, say, like octal you want to create, just give 256 in front of it like octal, you will get like this. Okay, and you will give hex, you will get like this. Just remember till that. As of now, if someone asks you to I have some number coming from somewhere, I want to convert it into the hex and then I have to use it, then you don't worry about it. Just take the number and just convert it depending upon like bin or hex or oct. Just use those functions. Okay, calculations, I'll give you something different. It is not required for us actually, because it is calculating, giving it as it is the formula that what you have to learn if you want to understand more. Okay, so that is the thing. Till now, as I said, like integer, floats, all these things, we will be knowing them. Okay, floats you cannot convert to integer. I mean like binary, octal, or hex, because those are all having some real numbers. Means they might have not used it for any IP addressing or any specific identification number. So it will never comes into the picture of even if you try to convert any specific. If someone like ask you to say for example, okay, ask you to convert like 10.5, I have example, I'm just giving binary of 10.5. There is a special mechanisms people identifies negative numbers but not the decimal numbers. Okay, I have seen in my life in few of the programming languages, say there might be a chance like sometimes they want to convert negative numbers to binary, that they can do it, but not the what do you say, decimal numbers. It is not possible to convert into binary, octal, or hexal. Just remember that any integer we can convert into binary, octal, or hex. Okay, but float cannot be possible. Just remember that. And one more thing, if there is any number someone has given like this, in case like that is what they have given you to in case if they want to if they want you to work on them. Okay, so just take it, you just go through I mean like just simple thing is you where it is, yeah, just take that value. Okay, if I have AB, if I want to convert it into the integer, there will be other functions that are available that you can use it in later point of time. I'll explain it in later point of time. Now it is not required. There will be some other functions also where you can have hex to be converted into. Just int only you can use it and get converted, but you have to designate it what kind of like see every value what it is saying here in front of it, 0b. correct, right? That means it is a binary value. Okay, so if I say hex, okay, I'll explain it here itself why I should confuse you guys. uh, I'll take same value and I'll just explain. Okay, binary of 10, if you see 0b, that means 0b as binary in front of 0b tells that this is a binary value. Okay, now hex of 10, I want make it very clear for you guys. That's it. 0xa means 10 means we can represent 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 we can represent. If within a single character, if okay, within a single character, if any point of time you represent a number, it is not possible. But some mission critical systems, and especially during the like optimized way of working, like representing whole bunch of IP addresses in just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 letters. Okay. Uh, like whether it can be like 255, 255, 255. I think, yeah. Okay. Paint, you are able to view it, right? I'm just lost here. Okay, I'm here. Okay, so guys, where I'll be using hex first, let me clear. Binary, like for all our these things, I mean, like sometimes we use it for feeding some data to machine, all those things. Sometimes machines require, like they might be giving you in machine data, you have to convert it into your integer, and you are giving it. But sometimes hex for our representation. What we do is, I have 255. Okay, and 255, very big IP address. Okay, very big IP address. Okay, how many letters I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, instead of uh 16, I mean like 3, 3, 6, 6, 6, 12 letters. Okay, I want to shrink it and get converted into some form where I can actually use it more effectively. Okay, what they do is, instead of writing entire 255, okay, now you see within they will shrink it in such a way that, okay, hex of 255. Okay, just it turned out to be only 2 letters. We have shrinked it. Okay, so in case now if I have to represent any IP address, what they do is they convert this particular thing and put it as a ff dot, again space ff dot, like 255 ff dot ff, like that they will be converting it. The only part what you have to remember is how to convert if they give you some number into hex. But if in case in future, if you get some I mean like requirement of converting, boss, I have some kind of hex value and I would like to convert it into integer, just take that hex value, okay, from wherever you are getting the data. Okay, then just convert it like this. Okay, you get the value back as 255. Okay, you have both the options. You can convert hex, octa, and binary. All these are like functions you can work on integer data type. Okay, they are extended functions that are useful to work with integer data type. Say for example, you have string. String is equal to some yes is equal to some hello, I said. Okay, so there are some functions like alien of s, means I want to identify the length of like how many characters in s. I'm using len, a function, to work on string data type. That's it. You have to remember. So you have, it is, bin is never a data type. Okay, bin is a function that helps you to work with your integer data type. If you have some number in binary, you can convert it into integer. If you have some binary number, if you want to convert it to integer, you can do it. Vice versa. Integer number is there. If you want to convert it to binary, you can do it. Just remember to that extent. Guys, here, am I clear till here? Forget about all the conversion, how the formula and all. Huh? It is good, right? Okay,
Yes.
till that extent. Okay, only point what we have to remember is bin is a function. Okay, hex is a function, then oct is a function which we are going to convert binary. I am giving integer number, convert into the binary. Bin of integer number you put in the bracket. Okay, I'll convert it into binary. 0b it will be starting with hex 0x, oct 0o. If you oct also I'll give you oct. These are like normal day-to-day programmers. It is not required much for us, but sometimes um, like in case if you get anything like you can see here what it is. There is 2 to the power of like 2 into 8 to the power of 0. It is 8 to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, into 2. 2 only you will get. Second position 8 to the power of 1. Okay, and you have 1 into 8 to the power of 1, you will get 8. Okay, so 8 plus 2 10. So whatever the octal we have given, it is converted. Robin, if you are like confusing, don't worry, there is some function which I will be like slide. I have it properly clearly explained in one small slide. I'll share with you. Just use it
Yeah, I
to
know. I
understand.
have
Okay.
I have done it before, but like no, I just got confused.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that happens
saying it,
because we are not math guys. Okay, we are
yeah.
just kind of operational or programming guys who doesn't
Thank you.
require these things. Okay, so uh, till here, I hope it's clear all for all of you guys. I think let me check what is the status. Okay, let me go ahead. Let me check. Harsha, is it clear for you?
Yes, Raghav, it's clear.
Okay, Prem,
Yes, sir.
Razid, any questions for you? No, right? Okay, fine, fantastic. Let's move on with our these things. Okay, so don't get complicated. I mean, like, don't get I mean, like, make the things complicated yourself. Put them very simple. Understand till whatever it required. So that doesn't make anything. If you are getting confused, just keep that aside. Just try to identify an easy way to understand it. That's only my concern. Okay, let's as I said, we have the float values. Okay, um, some big floating numbers will be there. They will be getting converted into like this. Okay, e to the power of 3. These things are not required for us, but still I'm telling. Automatically, some numbers you want to represent, like if you see in Excel, if you have some value which is like very big number, if you put it over there, like your mobile number or something like that, automatically what happens, it will get converted into E format. Okay, that particular E format, what is the actual value, if you want to see, they will also can be converted. Okay, into normal format, but for that doesn't require for you to what do you say, uh, convert it or anything is not required. Okay, just if you access that value, it will give you the integer value, so you need not to worry about that. Okay, just I'm giving the float means anything with dot, but sometimes in Excel you will be getting this data, but no need. When you are trying to access it, then it will give you the exact data like this. Okay, then forget about it. Then going down to the complex, there is one. This is not at all required for us. I think you might have not also seen anywhere, but I just want to give you some brief introduction. It is used for scientific thing, complex data type. Okay, where we are going to use it. Okay, so say for example, I have some research getting conducted. Okay, so that time I am 100% that uh, I know to certain extent I'll get some result that is called as okay real value. Okay, we'll be selling at real value means like some value which I've got. Okay, and I'll be doing some kind of like some imaginary value. I'll be doing it. This is in machine learning. They use it that too in specific fields, but not everyone they use it. Okay, and the imaginary value, and they will product with some value, some j prediction value, something. Okay, so then they will get some output. Okay, so for their research purpose or anything. Most of us will won't use it. Only the scientific based machine learning activities will involve that. But if you need anything like this, see, uh, okay, this is just give me a second, guy. Okay, uh, where it went? Hey, where it went, man? Okay, okay. A is equal to why it went 10 plus. Uh, okay, I have given I. Okay, 1j. Okay, so it is type of data is it is a complex. Complex means it is some complex numbering format which is like used for scientific purposes. Just remember till that state, nothing required for us to bother about. But it is important if someone asks you how a number looks like 10 plus 5j, something like that. You say that where you have the first part of is the real number, the second part of it is the product of some imaginary number, like that you have to tell. Okay. Then yeah, you have boolean. Okay, boolean means like either 0 or 1. Okay, um, 0 means always true. Okay, if I have 1 0 1 0 1 0, this is not boolean, this is a binary. Okay, boolean means the result of anything. A is equal to true, I say. Okay, this means either it is true or B is equal to false. Now if I say A, it has to return me something. If I say B, it has to return me something. Okay, if I do A, it will return me true. If I say B, it will return me false. Let us see that with some example. Uh, yeah, A is equal to 10. Okay, B is equal to 10. Okay, just remember B is equal to 10. Okay, A is equal to B. What it is return me? It is returning some boolean output. Means boolean is used when to tell the user that, boss, whatever you said is correct. Yeah, that's true. If I say A is not equal to B, I just said, okay, boss, you said wrong because A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10, but you are telling A is wrong, A is not equal to B. For me, as a machine, I know that value of 10 is equal to value of 10. Okay, but you are telling value of 10 is not equal to value of 10. So that's why I'm telling it is a false. It is giving a decision or opinion of the program whether the input what you have given is correct or not. Sometimes it requires for us to ask. Okay, you will be writing. Okay, you will be writing a big program. Okay, and you have found some output, and one more program you have executed. Okay, one module you will be executing, another module you will be executing. What your expectation is, you want this value and this value to be the same. Okay, so that time the output of this is A is equal to something 500 or something, B is equal to 500. Now you want to compare whether this one and this one is correct or not, whether they are correct or not. So if A is equal to B, okay, then you perform this program, this code, okay, this line of code inside. Okay, then you will under this in the bottom what you will write else. Okay, example, I'm flower bracket, I'm why I'm giving isn't see kind of, if you people might, we are not reached till all those conditions and all, right, that is the reason I just want to give you in this way. Okay, so else, if I say this flower braces means it is starting of then you will write some code. Okay, because else means they are definitely false. Okay, like this. Okay, so condition sometimes it is very important for us to make the based on the comparison of two different things. Okay, you have to make sure some decisions has to be taken, and based on that your program execution has to continue. Okay, so that particular point of time, these are important. If I say directly, say mm, a is equal to uh, what do you say, true, and b is equal to true, b is equal to false, and if I say what is true and what is false, you won't get to know about it. So this is a best example where I can say that you, for taking the decisions, okay, you use this thing. But internally in the memory, how they'll um, uh, get stored, if I say a is equal to true, okay, uh, int of a, okay, if I want to like if I want to see something, okay, it will be showing us internally, as I said, true is equal to 1, correct, right? So int is a data type. I can give a boolean to this, okay, whatever the true. It's not an integer number, right? Correct, right? It is some letters, but still it knows that a is of boolean type. So internally what happened is, yeah, here I'll go. Internally what happened is, a is equal to true. Example I'm giving. Okay. Now when I said this, it will go. These are like predefined, right? Automatically during your runtime only, all boolean, like two only values only, right? Easily we can store them. True. Okay, and false. So it will go and point to this particular thing. What is this? A. A is referring to true. Okay. Now, true, what it is done is, where it comes is, it is internally, even though it is a data type, okay, if you want to access this thing internally, it is linked to
Hey, Raghav,
something called that
are you sharing something? I can see your screen.
uh, paint. I'm sharing it. Are you guys not seeing my screen?
Not now.
Oh, God. Now,
Yep.
I'm very sorry, guys. Let me clear it off. Okay. Now, A is equal to true. Somewhat you have given. Okay. Some you have given. Or, okay. A is equal to um, 10. Okay. Now, what you have done is A is int of 10. Correct, right? What is the result you got? True. Correct, right? That is what you will get it. A is equal to int of true. What you will get? 1 you will get it. How you are getting this one? Okay. A is equal to 10. Okay. Oh, sorry. You can be A is equal to true. Okay. A is equal to int of true means you are giving, please convert this into integer. I want to see what is int. But here all are letters. How it is getting converted means, as soon as when you give this int to true, what happens is A we have here, and internally A is referring to predefined data type, that is true, false, only true it will be referring. Okay. A is referring to true. This particular step is completed. Now we are converting it into integer. So when I say true, okay, is converted to be integer, boss, you are how it is all letters, but oh, these are the special types. I know that whom to contact. There are two references they have given it for me anytime if I have to refer. Okay, something called as 0, I mean 1. Say for example, this is 1 and this is 0. Okay, this is 1 and true is 1 and false is 0. Okay, so they will be internally referring to that. If someone get any result and if they want to get converted and they want to see the integer internally their numbers, and you'll have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. Okay, object true usability, how it happened here, I will show you in a object wise. Okay, now a is equal some z is equal to 1, I will give you. Okay, some x is equal to 0 I'll give you. Okay, just remember this. Okay, now what is the address of address means ID, address memory location of 1 or Z here. Okay, I got some ID. Okay, ID of X. I got some zero location. Zero somewhere is there in the, like, as soon as you're seeing my screen, right? You're seeing my screen, right? I have moved back to Paint.
Yep. Yep. We are.
Yeah. So as I said, all predefined functions and numbers. Now numbers, it is like 0, 1, 2, all of them are there. Okay. This particular 0 number which are preloaded, okay, is having some sort of address, correct, right? That is what we have discussed last week. That number is something which we are seeing here. Okay. This one. Okay. This one. Okay. And 0 is storing here. Okay. Now just remember this. If I say false, true, okay. If I say true, if I am referring to some new, say, variable f is equal to something true, I am telling, but something I have got, it is true. Something true I have told. Okay. And I have g is equal to true. Don't get confused. False. Okay. Just I am telling you how everything is same. Okay. Now ID of, now I want to know ID of, okay, int of, okay, f. What I have done was whatever true I have, okay, whatever the true I have, I want to know its memory location. If you see it carefully, whatever Z1 I have and this address, both are same or not.
Raghav,
Ah,
we are unable to see your screen, Raghav.
that is,
Yeah.
I forgot. I forgot. I'm like not able to, like, what do you say? Now you are able to see, right? I'm not able to immediately switch my brain from one screen to another screen. Okay. So, guys, Z is equal to, you want me to repeat it once again? Okay, I'll repeat it. Z is equal to 1 I have given, some number I have given. X is equal to 0 I have given. Okay, these are like, when I say these are the memory locations which you will get it when you access something memory IDs, right? 0 and 1 are within 256. They will have some fixed address. They will be preloaded into the memory. So you will get this. Okay. What I have done is I have assigned a new variable f is equal to true. True I have given, and I have given g is equal to false. Okay. So, okay. Now what I'll do is ID of, okay, ID of f I want to know. F example. Okay. If you see, it is referring to true. Correct, right? ID what it is? It is true. Correct, right? Am I correct or no?
Yes.
Okay, I'll explain it. See, A is where it is referring. F, right? Okay, F is equal to true. Correct, right? First, it will be referring to some memory. Correct, right? Some memory where true is stored. Okay, F is referring to some object or the memory where true is stored. First, we will learn what it is. Okay. So I have, let me clear everything. Okay. I have F is equal to true. Okay. F is equal to true. First letter, first character of true, always T should be capital. Okay. So now ID of, okay, ID of, I want to know the memory location of F. Okay, I got this 39 something. Okay, same way I have G is equal to false. False. Okay, I want to know memory location of G. Okay, what I'm saying is, okay, if I convert any int, any true, I am not talking about F or G or anything. If I convert any, if I want to refer any Boolean value, say int of Boolean memory location, I have to give that true. I'll give here. If I want to convert anything, I'll get like this int of. If I want to convert it false, I can convert by using this. But I want to know the location of true. Okay, ID of true. If you see true, whatever the value F is referring and directly where it is getting stored are same or not. Guys, is it confusing for you? Guys,
No, it's good. Good.
okay. What I said, F is equal to true, I have assigned. F is just a reference. It will go and refer to some object. That is true object. True object is here. The exact value of the true object is I'm getting over here. Correct, right? Both are same. Same way false. If I have false, okay, I'll be getting, see my G value is referring to the same object location of the false. False wherever it is storing that particular thing. Just remember that. Okay. Now, what I'm going to show you is, now I have something converted into 1 and 2. Correct, right? Int of true is 1. It is a function. Internally, what is happening is these two things, if someone tries to, if these two things like F and G, if someone tries to convert it into some type of true or false into integer, sometimes what it requires, boss, instead of I want to true or false, tell me whether it is 0 or 1. That time it requires for you to take some actions. Okay, so during that time, whether how it works internally at the memory level, just I would like to tell you int of, okay, or ID of, okay, int of, okay, F. If you see that the memory location of true is this thing, right? Okay. Now one I have. Okay. ID of true is 1, right? Okay. See both one memory location, and when you convert it into like int into true into integer number, okay, it is also referring to the memory of the same location. So let me clarify, guys. You might be getting confused again and again. I was trying to make it simple, but I'm making it more complex by putting a lot of things. Let me put the record very straight for you. Later, during the recording session, once I hand it over to you guys, you will be in a position to understand it very clearly. Okay. I have A, okay, is equal to true. Okay. So true is storing in the memory. Just remember that. Okay. True. Okay. Sometimes it requires to convert whether a Boolean into integer or not. That is the first thing. To convert any Boolean into integer or not. One type to another type. Now I want to convert, okay, float to int, whether it is possible or not. Okay, it is possible. A floating number, whether you can convert it into integer or not, it is possible. We'll see one example. Whether it is an integer to be converted into boolean float or not? It is possible. Okay, just use int and enter the float number. That's it. It is possible. So integer to float, okay, and float to integer to float and float to integer conversion is possible. If you have 10.0, some float number, if you want to convert it into integer, okay, just int of like 10.0 you give, and it will return you only 10, removing that float value. Okay, if you have 10.5 as some float number, if you convert it into integer of 10.5, then it will give you output as only 10. It will remove this particular part. Okay, it is possible. So integer to float is possible. I mean, like float to integer is possible. Now I want to float to integer is possible. Now whether float value I can convert into integer, I know that, but integer value to float is possible or not? Integer to float. Okay, I have 10. I would like to convert it into the float value. Okay, so 10. Just what you have to do is float of, okay, 10 you give inside and click enter. You will get 10.0. So this is also possible. So forget about that thing also. Conversion from one integer to float to integer is possible. Okay, but I have how many data types totally? Integer, float, boolean, string, and what is there? Complex are the fundamental data types. I want to see if I can convert integer to among all these things or not, and float among all these things or not. Whether I just want that particular thing. So integer to float, it's clarity there for us. Now let's come down to boolean. Okay, now I want to convert this boolean value into integer. Okay, got it right? So whether it is possible or not. Okay, so for that, yes, it is possible. Why? How it is possible means, as soon as when you give some value, just everything I'll make it clear. Okay, a is equal to true, I say, okay, which is a boolean, okay. Now I want to convert it into integer. Okay, yes, it is possible, because as soon as when you request a boolean to get converted into integer, it will be referring to the number 0, whichever already there in your Python memory. Okay, it will refer to 0. If I want to convert, okay, some boolean like false, we have only 2 booleans. Okay, we have only 2 booleans. Okay, if I want to convert into false into some integer, it will get converted into 0. But now we have seen with integer, same boolean, is it possible for me to convert it into float? Okay, let us see that. Okay, float, FLOAT, float is the data type, right? I want to convert it into the true into floating data type. Let us see, float of a 1.0. Correct, right? Correct, right? 1, you can convert it into 1.0. Okay, then float, FLOAT, okay, of b, what it will give? 0.0. Correct, right? So 1 you can convert to 1.0, 2 you can convert to 0, 2.0. But okay, is it possible for you to convert, okay, into string? Okay, str, we use the function name called as str to convert any input into string. If you want to convert, just use str of a. These are the functions that are available in Python, and they are all got automatically loaded during the runtime. Okay, so when you say any input within the string, it will consider that, oh, I have to convert it into true. Now whatever true you are seeing is just a boolean. Now it got totally converted into string. Okay, remember that. Okay, we are going to start working on strings in some time, maybe tomorrow. Total 2.5 hour we'll be taking only on strings. It will be very interesting. Just I want to make sure, like, before you get into the shoes of like fundamental data types completion, and we are getting into the strings, I just want to make sure that very simple things, that what things can be converted into what. So that is the only reason, not to confuse you guys. So where it went? Yeah. So you know that integer can be converted into float. Uh, okay, integer can be converted into the float. Integer can be converted into boolean. Integer, can it be converted into the string is the next thing. Okay, let us see. I have a is equal to 20. Okay, now whether is it possible to convert it into string or not? Because if I say type of a, it will give me integer, correct, right? Now I want to convert it into string. Just don't worry about it. It knows, boss, whatever you give me, anything you give me. Okay, if you want me to create that, I am there to help you out. Just 20, it is converted into string. Because earlier, when I say 20, okay, like any number, if I say I didn't had these quotes. Okay, now if I say a, okay, still it is stored, but str of a, I got it. Now if I want to store it permanently, b is equal to, okay, str means I am storing it somewhere. You don't worry about this, but just remember that to an extent, whether it is possible for you to convert one type to another type. Okay, so now let's get back. So it is converted to the completely string. When I say b, it is storing also in one location, b. Okay, see, yeah. Okay. Now we have come to know that integer can be converted into the float and integer can be converted to the boolean. Okay, and is it integer can be converted into string? Yes, we have done that. Will it be integer to be converted into the complex? Yes, definitely. See this. If I say complex, because I want to convert into some number, since it is dynamically typed programming language, okay, it knows that 20 is integer automatically. So 20 is an integer. Now I have to convert it into the complex. So it will give 20 plus 0j, because you have given the imaginary, I mean like real value something. So based on that, it will put imaginary value and some product of j. This
Okay,
form,
so
I mean like,
so
yeah,
basically just make a random complex number, right, from the 20.
not random. If you say, if I say like complex of whatever the real number you are giving, right? Okay,
Uh-huh.
some 555. That this is a real number what you are giving, correct, right? It is a number
Yeah.
that you are giving. Okay, it will take that and it will create that real number, and the product of whatever imaginary it will put, since we didn't give any product, I mean like imaginary number anything over here, right? We have given only this thing, correct, right? So
Yeah.
it will, what it will do is it will give only that. Let us say, I think we have some portion of it like 555 comma something. Let me check. Yeah, if you see, if you give both imaginary I mean real number, and if you give imaginary number, okay, both it will take and created one complex data type. If you see this, got it right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. No need to think about anything beyond this. Okay, just if you give, like, it can accept one or two values. If you are not given two values, it will consider it as zero. Okay, second value if you haven't not given.
Okay.
That's it. Nothing is required for us about it. But these things, everyone, these things are very much like important. Like which format to which format we can convert. Those things are very much important. Complex is not part of our day-to-day Python activities. Okay, so but string conversion to integer, integer converting it to string. Okay, something converted to boolean, boolean converting it to something is very much important. So how you have to start, that is the reason why I have told you guys to where it went, share screen. Okay, yeah, why I told you like you have to take one example. First, you have to start with int, okay, and say take 10 and try to convert into the float. How you do? Float of 10, okay, boolean of 10, okay, string str of 10, okay, complex of 10 comma 5 or only 10 you can give whichever you want, okay, like that you convert. Now you come back to the float. Take float number. What is the like take float I mean like 10.5 I have, okay, just giving one example, okay. Now I want to convert it into this boolean, string and complex, because float is always a float. So first you have to do click select int 10.5 you give, okay, then boolean 10.5, okay, then str.
So Boolean of any integer, right? It's always true.
Boolean of integer, perfect, that is very good. That will come down in the conditions thing, okay.
Okay.
Perfect, that is true, okay, means something is there or not, that's its main intention, okay.
Okay.
Something is there or not, okay. If something is there, okay, I'll tell whatever you asked. Let me just clarify that as well. If I say a is equal to 10,000, okay, some number, big number, okay, a is equal to say not that also 57 something, some number, just random number I have given, okay. Now I want to know whether some number is there or not. How? Okay, bool of a, okay, yes,
Okay.
number is there, boss, okay. A is equal to, okay, something, some number is there or not, okay,
Uh-huh.
bool of a. Zero also it will be considered as some void kind of thing, okay. So you don't have any valid values, only zero you have, okay. If I say a is equal to something empty string, okay, string, okay, when I say a is equal to empty string, see what it gives. Bool of anything is there in the string. That's what I'm asking. Anything is there in the string, okay. Then it will say no, boss, nothing is there in the string, okay. It is an empty thing, okay. Boss, now you
Okay.
check anything is there. Please let me know, okay. Bool of a. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Yes, boss. Something I've seen.
Okay.
Some letter. Something is there. Okay. Where it went? Yeah. Oh no. That not that. Yeah. Okay. Boolean when it returns true and when it returns false is if you say any variable other than empty and other than zero, empty string and other than zero. Okay. And if you have some like complex values, you might be seeing it, right? Say example, a is equal to uh, real value is also uh, zero, and complex, I mean like imaginary value also zero. Okay. Uh, okay. Sorry. A is equal to, you have to say like this: complex of, okay, 0 plus z 0. Okay. Now it is a complex. A is a complex. What happened? The 0 is not defined. Hey guys. Complex.
We have to give in the quotations, no?
No. This is a complex value, right? I'm just trying to give 1 plus z 0. Let me check about this. I don't know why product of 0 should not be there. Looks to be. Let me check this thing. I am not sure about this. Okay, whether 0 we can give it or not. Let us see. It is not our context itself now, not to get into like wasting of the time because of that. But just remember that anything like whatever you have, something is there, then it will be like treated as what do you say? If something is there, then it will be treated as something other than 0 will be treated as true. Something other than empty string will be treated as true. Okay. If empty string or 0 is there, then it will be treated as if you have 10.5 also, it will be treating as true only. Okay. It is not like it should be integer only or something like that. Okay. Something. Ultimately, whatever value you give, it will go and refer to 0 or 1 only. Okay. True or false. Okay. So, till where we have.
Raghav, one more doubt also here. What is the default Boolean value here?
Okay, I got it. Question. Okay. So, for example, A is equal to 10.5 example I'm giving. Okay. Bool of A. What it will give you? What it will give you? Whether
No.
Boolean true or false only it will give you. Correct, right?
Not able
You
to see your
clicked it.
screen, like if you are sharing something.
Oh, okay. Now A is equal
Yep.
to 10.5 I've given. Okay. Boolean of A. I'm trying to access Boolean of A. Okay. I want to know what is whether it is true or false. Something is there or not. Okay. Then it will give me true. Something is there, boss. Okay. So then that time what I'll see is idea of A means where 10.5 is stored. Correct, right? Where 10.5 is stored. Okay. Now idea of true. Okay. Where this condition true and false is stored. Okay. Is this condition means the Boolean value is stored, not condition. Where the Boolean value is stored. Okay. When you say Boolean or not, it told that it referred us.
So basically, when you say A equal to 0, it means like A is null.
A is not null. A is equal to 0 when you say, right? Okay. What is the value of 0?
False.
No, what is the value? It is a memory location, correct, right?
Yep.
Somewhere it is in some location. It is stored as 0. That's it, correct, right?
Yep.
Am I correct or not? Okay. Now,
Yep.
if I say this particular thing, okay, A is equal to, okay, 0 means it is happening like that, right? What I'll do is Boolean of A I'll do. What it will refer?
False, I think.
Perfect. Okay. False. Correct, right?
Yes.
Okay. False. False means what? Which number?
0.
In the memory.
Zero.
Correct. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everything is right. True and false are pointing to 1 and 0. Correct, right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Now what happens is when I say Boolean of A means which is 0. So whichever it is pointing to the false. Now ID of false if I give, okay, it will give me the address of this. Correct, right? Am I correct or not? ID of
Yep.
false means it will give you the address of this. Okay. But if I convert this to, if I say convert, if I convert to this way, which thing it will refer to? It will convert into number. Correct, right? 1. If it is false means 0. Correct, right? This address we will be getting it. Let me share that. The ID of true is we have this. Okay. Whether something is there or not, I checked. Okay. Yes, it is true. Okay. If something is there, okay, then what is the address of that? I mean like that particular address. That particular address is this only. Whichever the object is there, right? 10.5 ID of A. This is always this one only. Whether you like the Boolean, okay, the Boolean, whether the true condition or false condition also stored in some location. If you want to know where which location it is there, That is, but guys, for you to understand it in a better way, the program, as if like you have to think like a programmer. That is the only reason I am giving in this depth. But to be frank, 90% of the people, okay, 90, not 90, 95% of the people, they doesn't know how internally it works like this. Okay, so I would request, if you are getting some confused, don't worry about it. To certain extent, whatever you learned, that everything is an object, and when you refer like this, they will go, it will internally refer this, and Boolean means I'll be accessing from there, from internal memory. Okay, and I'll be doing like this. So till that extent, if you understand, that is more than sufficient. We don't require anything beyond that. Okay, and today's task, what is there for you means, you have to take the integer, this one, assign a value a is equal to 10, and you have to convert into binary, hex, and oct. Okay, and the seed and the float. Okay, convert this into a into float. So float of a, then boolean of a. Just try with memory locations, like how I want to, what is happening with a, where it is getting stored. Okay, when I refer it from, say, a is equal to b, I'm doing example. I'll give you small examples which kind of works. If you do, you will be like get more interest. Okay, uh, say for example, a is equal to 10 I have. Okay, b is equal to a. Okay, I'm just giving id of a, id of b, id of b. If you see what they are referring to the same value 10. Correct, right? id of 10 I'll give, just directly number only I'll give. See, all of the referring to the number 10 only, right? This is the location exactly 10 where it is stored. If I say a is equal to 10, it is providing me some number, id number. And if b is equal to a, means like b is internally, again it is referring to a, which refers to 10 only. So everything getting pointed to this location, if you see. So this kind of practice you have to do. Which one is getting reflected? I say, I'll tell you one thing. A is equal to, simple things I'll say. I said Boolean values doesn't store, uh, like even though if I have a is equal to 10.0 and b is equal to 10.0, id of a, id of b. See this, how it has happened. They are same values, 10.0 only, but floats doesn't use they don't reuse the objects floats, because reusability is only to 1 to 256 or minus 256 to plus 256, and all special characters. If I say a is equal to, say for example, I have something called a special character like this. Okay, dollar. B is equal to, I have something special character like this. Okay, id of a, id of b. They are referring to the same object. Special characters, when during the Python, when it gets loaded into operating system, that time itself everything got loaded. But whereas I will show you one more thing. A is equal to same string only. But if I say dollar, dollar, just one character extra I have put. B is equal to dollar, string only. You can take AB also, not an issue for me. Just I'm telling special characters are normal capital letters, small letters, anything you take. ID of A, see what you have. ID of B. Are they referring to the same object? No. So one single characters are stored, right? When you try to access them, then they will be referring to the same. Now I'll show you the magic of it. There is small, like we'll be trying to get them in future, like next tomorrow's class. But before to that, I just want to show, if you want to access anything, we'll be using index. This is the first index. This is the second index, means second character. So its index always starts with 0, a of like this. Okay, first 0 I would like to access. Okay, say for example, both are same letters, right? Okay, same letters only I need. Okay, a of the first letter means this one. This one is 0. Indexing starts with 0 always. 0. Okay. I got this thing, right? ID of A of 0 means like I want the memory location of the first character. I got something, right? ID of memory location of the second character. ID of memory location of the second character. Okay. You see both are referring to the same dollar, correct, right? Dollar, what is the memory location? ID of dollar. I want this character's internal memory. See this one and index 0. Both are referring to the same object internally. What is happening is, in a simple way, okay, when I say, tomorrow we'll be discussing more clear about this, but I just want to say, I have A, B, C, D, like that, everything, and after that some special characters like dollar.
Again, we missed the screen.
Okay. Okay. Now?
Yeah.
Okay. What is happening is, you take this, okay? A is equal to dollar I have given. Okay. So all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all these things along with special characters like dollar, hash, all these things will get automatically loaded at the time of runtime, right? This will have some memory location. Okay. ID of dollar will give you this memory location. Correct, right? Am I correct or not? Correct, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when I say B is equal to dollar, okay, $2 I have given. Okay. C is equal to dollars. As soon as it identified, it is a string having multiple values. It actually takes it and stores it in here in a new location. As referred as B. Okay. And thinks, oh, already I have it, but it is a string. I should create a new object. Even though they are same, I should create a new object. So again, dollar, it gets stored and it will be referred as C. Okay, now the best part of it. This thing, what it happens is, instead of storing dollar, what it will do is, it will store, oh, dollar, the first address, whatever first letter, I will refer to this location. Oh, the second one is, again for B, it is dollar. I will refer to this location. You got it, right? Okay. So that is the reason for this entire portion, you have one memory address. Okay. So when I said A, which is dollar, will be going to store in one location, but it is having the internally two different characters, this one and this one. But we have already know about it. That dollar is already there. ID of A of 0 is the first character. ID of A of 0. Yeah. Okay. I know ID of dollar, any dollar sign, if it is there, I'll be character, it is ID of. Guys, you got confused anything? Anyone confused here? Don't worry, even if it is confused, when you practice it, it will come to know. I mean, like, it is very in-depth thing which I'm explaining. It is not required till that extent, like how internally they are referring one object to another object. Tomorrow, in more clear way, I'll explain it when it comes to the strings. But whether you understood how the object reusing works or not, till certain extent. If I say something A is equal to 10, and b is equal to 10. Okay, id of a, how it works, whether you know it or not, guys.
Yep.
Robin,
Yep. Yep.
Robin, you got it or not?
Yeah, I'm good. But I just need to go through it like one more time. But
Yes,
I'm good.
yes. You have to go through in the sense with hands-on.
Yep.
Just you create your own variable. Okay.
Uh-huh.
As I said, simple blueprint, what you have to remember for now. Simple blueprint before you go for the practice, what you have to remember is just understand where it went.
Raghav, I have a small doubt here.
Yeah, you go ahead.
In string, we can apply multiple values. So
Yes.
now we given dollar only, right?
Yeah.
So dollar comma again two comma one again
Uh,
2, 3. So
String
how
anything
can
you
we take?
can give. Comma is also special character. It will also stored in one location. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, if I say, what you have to do is, first you guys have to do one thing. Okay. You note down everything. A is equal to 1 you give. Okay. First you note down directly by entering ID of 0 you note down. ID of 2, ID of 1 you note down. ID of 2. Just type it. Note down means don't note down anywhere. Just type it and see what you are getting, and then you give a is equal to 0 you give. Okay, and id of a, what it is, you see whether id of 0 and the whatever the id of a are getting the same thing or not. First step, it will get clear for you, like 1 2 3 4, all these numbers, like when I directly access them, okay, they'll be accessing some memory location. Like if I say directly 100, if I say 100, id of 100, it will be accessing some memory. Okay, that memory and id of a is equal to 100 I'll give, and I'll access this. Whether this memory, wherever id of 100 and id of a are displaying the same number or not, you just compare it. First step is that thing you have to. If that thing gets cleared, the next thing what you have to do is you have to go here and see, like a is equal to, say for example, your name you give. Okay, whatever your name you give. Okay, anything like it starts with if you want to access this particular letter, you have to give like this, a of 0, first letter, because this is a first letter I want to access. If you just click only enter, you will get h. Okay, but you have to know that a b c d e f g h, all these things are preloaded into your machine, so they are already there. Okay, before you your program gets executed, first they will get loaded. Okay, then what happens, then your program gets executed, then it will come to know that, okay, a of 0 is h. Okay, h means all these things where it is getting stored. First you id of a, first you note down id of complete a, you will get some id. Okay, now that's okay, not an issue, you will be getting a new id. You give another, once again b is equal to same your name you give, and it should be very clear for you, right? Anytime when you create, even though both strings are same, it will create as different objects. Okay, it will create different objects. Okay, for string, complex. Okay, it will be the same thing, like because it is something like object reusability is not there for string. Okay, so it will be some different location, some 1 2 3 4 5, some this can be 3 5 6 7 8 9 7 location. So now what I want you to do is take the first character of a of what do you say, a of 0. Okay, and see in your name what is the address you are getting, and then b of, like same your name itself, this is also your name only, same again, b of 0, what is the address they are referring, like the first letter, it will be referring to our internal, all the preloaded text only, because there is nothing like hello can be stored directly into your this particular object. Okay, this particular object, even though they are like hello means, like where is hello in your main database, right? I mean, like not database, wherever the preloaded things, H will be referring to that. E will be referring to that particular location. L will be referring to that location. O will be referring to that location. H, E, L, L, O will be referring to that location. So remember, if you practice like this for today, tomorrow it won't be like tomorrow. I'll be explaining about the indexes, strings, all these things. Don't worry about that. But whether to this extent, whether you will be able to do it on your own or not, that is what I want. To this extent, guys, I need
Should be
input
good.
from you.
Huh?
Huh?
Yep, should be good.
Yes,
Should be
Raghav.
good. Yep.
No issues, right? Okay.
Yep.
Why I said why I explained all these things is, okay, until and unless if you don't know like how it works internally, okay, uh, until unless if you crack that thing, right, the extension of your programming, what do you say, journey will not be that much enthusiastic. So that is the only reason I request you to just practice, okay, as much as you can, like conversions, like integer, binary conversion, all these things. The things which I have explained till date, till tomorrow, you have time, you go through them and finish it. So there won't be any issues for us, okay, for tomorrow's
Cool.
class. Okay. I hope it is clear for you guys. And even if it is not clear, then just
Raghav, I
go
have
back.
a doubt.
Yeah, tell.
In floating point, so how
Hmm.
many decimal points you can use in one single floating?
There is nothing like that, like in C or other Java or something like that. There is nothing like that. You can have infinite number of, like infinite number means you can have as big as floating numbers. I think it will take it. It doesn't reject anything because all of it will be referring to something internally to different individual objects. See, because it will be a new object only, right? And dot, sorry. Actually, this much is very big number. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Means like 2 to the power of 8. Yeah, only like you can have only 15 max decimal cities taking how much ever you give. Maybe I might be
Okay,
not knowing about it, but that is the thing. Okay.
yeah, got it.
Okay. Then anything else, guys? You have any doubts? I'll share video in some time.
Cool.
Okay. I hope today's class is at least clear to certain extent.
Yep, it was.
Yeah. Uh, like the only thing what you want to do is, as I said, integer to everything, as I said, binary, hex, all these things, whether it works out or not. Float, whether binary, hex, oct, whether it works out or not. Okay. And complex, whether it works out or not. All these things practice you do. You create your own metrics where it works, where it doesn't works in your mind. Okay. So it will be helpful for you when writing other programs, right? Immediately you will come to know that how to think about. This is like some error is coming. That means that you have to see the error, right? So for learning the error, you're practicing all these things. Okay. So in case if you're running any program, some error comes up, you know that, okay, looking at the just the error that you will come to know that, oh, this is this error. Oh, I know that. Okay. For that thing. And you have to have some practice on integer to convert into float, all these things, and as well float to integer, boolean, all these things like that you practice and also try to access various IDs of in the memory locations and see whether you are able to get it or not. Okay. That's all for my side. If you have any queries, I'm open for another couple of minutes. If you have.
I think I'm good. So tomorrow, what time will be the session?
Um, Tomorrow, can we have at the same time?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, we'll go ahead with that time. Okay.
And one more thing, Raghav, will you be
Yeah.
sharing that slide which you are referring, like,
Yeah, I'll be sharing that. Okay,
okay.
I'll be sharing that. Okay. And
Thank you.
guys, I would request for all of you, is there any, uh, let me, okay, I
Why
would
don't you
request,
why don't you create like a new group and just share it there?
yeah,
What,
that's what.
yeah,
Okay,
what
let
that
it
is.
be. But just want, for now, not this as well. Mm, okay. I just want you guys ping me directly. Wendell are there is now. All of you 6 members, ping me directly. Okay. So I'll be sharing video with you guys. Okay.
Okay.
Individually. Okay. I would request every one of you reach me for the recording video. If you fail, then I'm not responsible for that. Okay. Fine then. Okay. I'll maybe by afternoon I'll share it with you guys. Right? That's all right. We don't have anything to discuss. Guys, clear?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes,
clear.
Yeah. Then see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a wonderful class. We'll be moving out of the objects. We'll be working on the real things like string related aspects and all. Okay. So nothing like confusing topics are there. Till date, you have to work out with them because to know it, to make it more clear how it object works and everything. Okay. That's the only my point over here. Learn as much as you can. Even if you don't learn, you already like during that time you might have learned how to convert integer, how to convert float, all those things. But anyhow, we'll be going ahead with it. Okay. See you guys tomorrow.
thank you.
Hmm?
Thank you. Have a
Okay,
good one. Bye.
thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.